Ladies and gentlemen, mesdames et messieurs, signore e signori, welcome back to the European Nations Cup for the first semi-final of this championship. It's France against Italy. Let me introduce you the referees. The center referee, Steve Crump. The assistant referee, Niels Christian Simonsen. The second assistant referee, Nordin Sobowitz. The fourth official, Clément Bertolou. And the teams for France, number 10, the captain, Mohamed Guelami. Number 4, Erwan Kong. Number 5, Morgan Lifant. Number 8, Brian Weiss. Number 9, Aurélien Filandre. Number 11, Youssef Ayad Zadam. Number 12, Tristan Lebeyer. Number 28, Jonathan Détrier. And the head coach, David Verger, and his assistants, Thierry Deschamps, Guillaume Gros, Guillaume Pezin, and the team manager, Aurélien van der Berg. And for Team Italy, with number 10, the captain, Simone Ranzato. Number 3, Gabriele Torcutti. Number 7, Gabriel Mindru. Number 8, Gabriele Zoggia. Number 11, Youssef Ali. Number 13, Giovanni Bernabé Capra. Number 16, Emiliano Bortoluzzi. Number 18, Irene Infantino. And the head coach, Marco Ferrazza. And his assistants, Carlo Impera, Michele Cicciarelli, Marco Rossellini, and the team manager, Fabio Rodo. Best of luck for both the teams. Have fun. I'll see you later. I'm heading over to Ryan and Greg for the streaming. Have fun.
Good afternoon and welcome to the first semi-final of the 2025 EPFA Nations Cup. After a week of drama, shocks and stories to remember, it all comes down to this, the knockout phase where history is written and where every mistake or moment of brilliance can define a legacy. It's France against Italy, a clash that feels as big as it gets. The reigning world champions, unbeaten and relentless, against the host, the newcomers, who have already exceeded every expectation to reach this stage. Before we turn our attention fully to this semi-final, it's worth reflecting on what has already happened today. Earlier, Northern Ireland edged out the Republic of Ireland on penalties in a dramatic all-Irish derby, keeping their World Cup dream alive. Then Denmark showed their resilience, overcoming Spain 2-0 thanks to a Torbjorn Cloud brace, a result that sets up a mouth-watering clash between Denmark and Northern Ireland tomorrow, with the last European ticket to Argentina on the line. Two fiercely contested games, two nations bowing out, the other two keeping their hopes alive. And now on to this semi-final. France have been nothing short of spectacular so far. 4 wins from 4, 28 goals scored, just 1 conceded. They came from behind to beat Northern Ireland 5-1, produced a 7-0 demolition of Spain, and ran riot against Germany with a 10-0 win, and then dispatched Belgium 5-0 to top Group A in style. They've rotated, they've experimented, even trialling that unorthodox 4-out system for them. But whatever formation they use, the quality shines through. This is a team chasing not only another final, but another chapter in their remarkable dominance of international power chair football. Italy, though, have been the story of the tournament. Debutants at this level, yet they've played like seasoned contenders. A 2-0 win over Denmark in their opener set the tone. They stunned everyone by leading England before narrowly losing 2-1. They held their nerve, rotating heavily in a goalless draw with Ireland, and then they made history with a 1-0 victory over Scotland to reach this stage. Their experience in power hockey has given them tactical sharpness and defensive discipline that has translated beautifully into power chair football. They have played with courage, organisation, and the full force of a passionate home crowd has been spurring them on, and that atmosphere cannot be underestimated. The Italian supporters have been incredible all week, loud, passionate, and creating an environment that has lifted the Azzurri every time they've taken to the court. Today, in the semi-final, they could make all the difference. Both teams arrived with different pressures. France expected to win, expected to dominate, expected to reach another final. Italy already have achieved history. They've already booked their ticket to Argentina. Now do we see them play with freedom, with nothing to lose and everything to gain. The prize, a place in tomorrow's final and the chance to be crowned European champions.
Never before have I looked forward to a game of power chair football quite like this one. It promises to be everything you want. The atmosphere is already incredible. France, the weight of expectation. They are the world champions. They want their European crown back. Standing in their way, the Italians on home soil have produced one of the most memorable tournament performances. Just putting in so much passion and energy that has driven them to already securing their first ever World Cup spot. Now, the question for them is, do you believe? Do you believe you could take the game to France? We've seen no one quite manage to hold them for a full 40 minutes so far. They've been under pressure, the French. They've managed to come through their tests. But this, in this atmosphere, with this crowd, with everything riding on it for Italy, could be their fiercest test yet, Ryan.
Absolutely, you're seeing those banners on the far side. It's one of my favourite aspects of this Italian support. And just in the far right hand corner, as we highlighted yesterday, the big banner that reads Italia nel cuore, Italy in the heart. And they're going to need some if they are to shock the watching world and take France out of contention. You're probably getting this atmosphere. I don't think I've ever quite experienced anything like it in power chair football. The noise, the colour, the sheer passion of the Azzurri fans has created something truly special. And every block, every shot, every interception, they cheer on as if it's a winning goal in the final. Don't underestimate the role that plays. It's lifted the players time and time again. You can see how much they feed off that energy as the famous French cockerel in the far stand is shown. That travels everywhere the international team go. And just a moment of calm before this place erupts. Let's go through the starting squads. Beginning with world champions France. They start with Brian Weiss in goal. In front, combining Mohamed Galame with Aurélien Filatre and Tristan Lebele. Their substitutes are on Conk, Morgan Lefont, Youssef Ayad Zidane and Jonathan Detrier. And for Italy, it was only ever going to be 4 players beginning this game. They'll have Emiliano Bortoluzzi in goal. It will be captain Simone Ranzato in the centre with wingers of Gabriel Mindru and Giovanni Bernabe Capra.
It's the try and tested formation and lineup for Italy. The team and the lineup that have got them here to this semi-final. Italy in a European Championship semi-final taking on France. It just sounds right, doesn't it, Ryan?
Certainly has a nice ring to it. Let's go through the match officials. In the centre is Steve Crump. He's complemented by Niels Christiansen Simonsen, Nordin Subovic, the fourth official, Clement Bertolu. And something I want to highlight, as was the case in the FIFPA Power Chair Football Club World Cup, whereby Steve Crump was the official in the centre. He was out here a full 40 minutes before this game kicks off, going through warm-ups and his routines with total focus. He really is the benchmark for world-class officiating in Power Chair football. Meticulous in his preparation, clear in his decision-making, and respected across the game. When you talk about standards at the very top of the sport, Steve Crump embodies exactly that.
Yeah, exactly. He is the benchmark, like you say, when you think of world-class referees. Steve Crump comes right to the forefront of your mind. Full 40 minutes before kick-off, just taking in the quiet before he has to deal with what is no doubt going to be a ferocious atmosphere. Above all, as you see him doing more high kicks, he is just respectful of the game, the players playing it, and how much it means to them, because he knows that this is everything for these players. This Italian team, like I said, are in a European Championship semi-final for the very first time in their major tournament debut on home soil. It doesn't get much more patriotic for them than for France. They're world champions. They're looking to reclaim their European title. This game means everything to all of us, but in these games it means just that little bit more, and Steve Crump gets that.
It's all about letting the football shine through, and for the most part this week that is exactly what's happened. There's been a good level of consistency with the officiating, but just as if we want to see the quality of the sport and the play improve year after year, the officiating has to match that. So there's a lot of work that goes into ensuring that is the case. And overall, really happy with the level of tolerance, whether it's contact or positional 2-on-1s. It's always difficult when people come together, different cultures, different interpretations of the laws and the game as a whole. But this atmosphere will be fiery. As we saw yesterday, because it was so loud, those little bits of contact, those 50-50 coming together, kind of not even heard. Anyone that knows this sport knows the sound of the screeching tyres, the metal on metal clanging. It is absolutely synonymous with the sport.
I think what's interesting is, as we still have another 5 minutes to go to kick off, France have not warmed up for at least the last 5-10 minutes or so. They are deep in conversation in a circle in the middle of what will be their defensive half, you'd think, in this first half. Maybe taking a moment while it is quiet to make sure they are all on the same page. Their instructions are clear. They know what they want to do. They know what they're going to do because they are France. They know they are very good. They are excellent. They are the standard by which everyone wants to compete with and be at. But even they, I don't think, will have ever faced an atmosphere quite like this. So I like the fact they are taking a minute while it is calm to just get a few messages across.
Yeah, maybe a very sensible decision as you're seeing them locked in a team talk. They've by far been the standout of this competition, if not in results, definitely in their performances, the fluidity, the connection. No matter what lineup David Verger picks, it seems to do the job. Have to highlight Aurélien Filatre as one of my favourite players that I've watched in this competition so far. As is so often the case with France, we talk about Brian Weiss, we talk about Momo Guillaume. The other players that comprise that collective are just as important. And then if we look and reference Italy, Simone Ranzato, for me personally, has been the standout of the entire competition in terms of performances and exceeding expectations.
Absolutely.
We saw this yesterday. Marco Ferrazza gathering his squad in front of those home fans, and there will be a monumental roar in just a couple of seconds once Marco Ferrazza has completed that team talk, as the French players just connecting with one another. They are one, and you're seeing those banners. And the noise begins, the passion is here. We happened to be in the same restaurant as the Italian teams last night. They were coming off the back of that historic win against Scotland, which earned them their ticket to Argentina, and my God, the celebrations were amazing. As said, have to set the expectation. Anything more is a bonus. Nobody expected them to be here. No one expects them to beat France. But that's what makes it so intriguing. They like that underdog mentality. Can that manifest into something truly historic? Momo Guillaume is going to get responsibility of this kickoff. We're going to have to raise our voices to match the level of them Italian drums.
He's just circling Momo Guillaume. He never looks phased, does he? As the Italians try to raise the noise, the French try to match them. Buckle up, get yourself comfy. You're in for a treat.
If you want any indication as to how noisy it is here at the Bella Italia Sports Village, my watch has just said loud noise alert. It's warned me as to my ears being on the receiving end of such ferocious support as Momo Guillaume readies himself for yet another semi-final. Winners in Limerick back in 2014, winners in Florida in 2017, fell just short in 2019, but they backed that up with winning the World Cup once again as he forces Emiliano Bortolucci straight into a save. Momo Guillaume down to Aurélien Filatre, combining nicely, trying to take Giovanni Bernabé Capra out the game. He is persistence personified, Bernabé Capra. He will constantly look to restrict those passing lanes, which sounds an almost impossible task when you're referencing the French. But we've already said they have to do something special, as Le Ballet has a very forced effort at goal. That's been a theme of his competition. Attempting efforts when they're not necessarily there. But he has several goals to his name, so he can be potent, he can find the net. It's just picking the right time to engage.
France trying to put early pressure on. I think that was key and very obvious from the beginning. as Momo Galame drives at Renzato.
It's a brave decision to put it in the dribble with Momo Galame. He's so good at it, world leading, there's no question about that. So to invite that pressure shows the confidence Simone Ranzato's playing with.
And dispossessed really well by Bortoluzzi. I was going to say from kick-off, usually we've seen France play backwards to Brian Weiss to start playing. No, there was none of that. They wanted to put the pressure on straight into the Italian final third.
Ranzato, Brian Weiss pushing way up, trying to get this 4-out approach working, which of course comes with the necessity to have positional awareness with all 4 players in the attacking half. Maintaining 3 metres at any one given time is a challenge, but that's why not many nations around the world look to adopt it. It just evades the front bumper of Giovanni Bernabé Capra.
Yeah, I would have liked to have seen a little bit closer to Bernabé Capra's Filatra down the line, off the back of his bumper and out for a goal kick.
A really nice passage of play, just the timing and connection that failed Filatra, but how they managed to slot it down that line. Brian Weiss, so good at the dead balls. Emiliano Bortoluzzi's goal kicks are going to be tested this game. Look at Le Belair, he's primed, ready to intercept. He just gets a touch, which takes it initially out of Ranzato's path. And Momo Galame with his first fire effort at goal off the side of the Italian captain.
See the power that was hit with it, flew out for a kick in. Giovanni Bernabé Capra, met by Brian Weiss, who takes over and drives at the Italian half, met by Mindru.
You just wonder whether Italy can replicate the success that Northern Ireland had in their first game, exploiting this 4-out approach, and it's fired into the box. It needed that touch from Gabriel Mindru, otherwise Le Belair would have almost certainly opened the scoring, and the second time it's Bortoluzzi with the block. Mindru has to be careful of his placement. Any encroachment over that yellow and black tape will result in a France free kick. Brian Weiss controls, entices Mindru in.
Would have liked to have seen more pace on the ball back from Filatra. Got it caught on his wheel slightly.
Filatra into the box. Momo Galame guides it goal bound, didn't engage it in a shot, was trying to control it into the goal, which has probably helped Italy regroup. The unpredictability of Momo Galame, one of his strongest assets, as they have some rare territory in the France half. They're very condensed, certainly Mindru and Bernabé Capra, so Mindru's probably going to have to back off. Doesn't do it quick enough, so advantage played by the referee. That's disappointing from Italy. They're typically so disciplined with their positional play, and had Momo Galame not advanced, it would have been that free kick, and it was very predictable.
Absolutely. You can see the pattern that this game is going to take. France with a lot of pressure, constantly probing and threatening that Italian goal. The Italians will look to get opportunities on the break, or if the 4-out system from France presents them with an opportunity.
Momo Galame trying to disguise his intentions into Brian Weiss. Look how high the France press is. You can see all 4 players on your screens, and there's still a good 2 or 3 metres between that red line to the far right and the halfway line. And an indirect free kick arguably presents France with their best opportunities to score. We've seen them utilise these set piece perfectly.
You see Bortoluzzi and Momo Galame. Galame trying to get in position. Bortoluzzi just reverses into him.
Yeah, it's got a little bit of bite about it. I suspect Brian Weiss will look to Aurélien Filatra, but also has the potent Momo Galame in the box. He'll probably attack with his front bumper. This is the 180 into the box. It comes off Bortoluzzi and is followed up at the back post by Aurélien Filatra. That's really disappointing from the Italians. But it won't matter to the French. They go 1-0 up in the semi-final, 6.5 minutes in.
Bortoluzzi, he's been so good, so composed for Italy. He just goes to read the ball, charges out. Fortunate for Brian Weiss, the ball is slightly behind him, which means it deflects to that back post. But Falatra with the easiest of finishes as Galami brings France forward, turns inside. Le Belair does really well done by Ranzato. The composure just to take it inside, round the outside of Le Belair and win his side of kicking.
Yeah, completely agree. As there's a halt to play, Gabriel Mindru just being warned as to his contact with Le Belair off the ball. There is bite, there is no question about it. Ranzato. Again, Murderbe Capra and Mindru, they've got a very small triangle that plays right on the edge of 2-on-1 infringement. On that occasion it comes off, but it's something they're going to want to be careful of. As Murderbe Capra, who lives in France, plays with Upsilon Châtenay Malabry's second team, so he knows Momo Galame better than most, is dispossessed. Right, Weiss, beautiful feint to send Ranzato the wrong way. Just the deception of these French players. We have to play catch-up almost as commentators, so I can only feel sorry for their opponents for the most part. Simone Ranzato to take. Once again, a very compact attack from Italy. See Ranzato pick Mindru. It was never there. The shape was never there. Firstly, Giovanni Murderbe Capra needed to be in reverse. And secondly, I think it needed to be a little bit wider. But then that channel would have probably been exploited by Aurélien Falatra. And this attack, that's too aggressive, that from Brian Weiss. The right decision from Steve Crump. Brian Weiss told no more. It would not surprise me, Greg, if Steve Crump has to look to his book in this game.
Absolutely not. You can see what it means to everyone. There is a lot of aggression, a lot of passion, and that they have to find the line. They have to channel it in the right way. What I would say is, how good is Upsilon Châtenay Malabry's second team if Giovanni Murderbe Capra plays for them?
Absolutely. An incredible player. As Simone Ranzato plays it into the man in question, it's intercepted by Aurélien Falatra. If you want to know just how potent this France squad is, the top goal scorers of this competition, joint at the top, you've got Dan McClellan on 5 with England, you've got Erwan Conk and Morgan L'Enfant on 5 apiece, and both of them are currently on the bench, so they have firepower if and when they wish to use it. As Ranzato fires it to Murderbe Capra, he's got a hard ass keeping that under control because he had an awkward bounce. I think Ranzato engaged that the wrong way, so I don't even think Murderbe Capra was anticipating here, and we got a little break here for them to rehydrate and regroup.
Yeah, really, I think needed. Italy needs to just calm down a little bit, realise who they're up against. It's only 1-0. They've got to get the instructions. It's not quite been as clinical or as disciplined as their previous performances have been so far in this tournament. You can forgive them a little bit for that. Obviously, they achieved their main aim yesterday evening, securing qualification, earning this bonus semi-final against France. They will want to make sure that they give it absolutely everything. For France, more of the same, but making sure you do not give up any opportunities at the back.
So Brian Weiss with the goal kick. Le Belair the clearest option in that channel on the left-hand side, but something we often see is Momo Galame lock it up in a dribble. If and when he does that, it's almost impossible to get the better of him. But that's been the nicest change about France this week, is their experimentation, trialing different systems as Momo Galame tries to exploit Emiliano Bortolucci, who recovers beautifully, and that's good football, really good football, as a matter of fact, from Italy. They were right up against it, and a few really clinical, assured passes turned defence into attack. It didn't amount to much, but that's what they're going to have to pull on across the remainder of this game if they're going to get to the European final.
It's brave goalkeeper from Bortolucci. It's right on the line. Brian Weiss was appealing for a penalty. It was on the cusp, just the right side. That is too far for Benedict Capra. Galame.
Momo Galame feinting to pass to Brian Weiss, which opened the channel to Filatra. You cover one side, they'll exploit you the other. It's a theme that runs through this French team. Momo Galame trying to return it. That shouldn't count. That flicked over the bumper of Gabriel Mindru, and it's reversed into by Filatra. Ranzato and Bortolucci have to be careful. With strong play from Bortolucci. You could see that, and he's squeezed in by Momo Galame. It's a lack of discipline again in the Italian defence, which is something we haven't seen in this competition so far. They're discussing off the ball, and they now have a metaphorical mountain to climb. France 2, Italy 0.
Oh, it's Momo Galame yet again. Dribbles through the Italian defence and coolly slots it in the corner past Ranzato. Bortolucci, I don't think we'll watch that back with much joy. I do not know why he is turning in the box and trying to play some sort of clearance when Momo Galame is right in front of him. You do not give a player like Momo Galame the opportunity or the space like that, Ryan.
Yeah, I think disappointingly it's more mistakes from Italy than real attacking success of France. Either way, they hold a very comfortable advantage. And I'm only as critical as I am because they are the ones that have set this high standard and defensive discipline. And the deviation from that is fairly notable. They're desperately going to want to ensure that they don't inflict further damage before the break. And that's too forceful from Mindru. He's already been warned, actually. So just told to calm down by Steve Crump. As it slightly boils over. Now we're going to have to see something different from Italy. Filatra.
Well, I'd like to have seen Filatra stay in reverse and maybe 180 that across rather than just simply front bumpering it to Ranzato.
Brian Weiss. Fired. There is a real tendency for this ball to rise up. No doubt due to the power and connection being generated by the players. Simone Ranzato, 15 minutes gone. Just 5 remainers. Momo Galame lines up a strike just wide of the left-hand post. That was sensational from the French captain.
Oh my word. What a strike from distance that was. You do not play it behind Momo Galame. Nearly paid the price there. That was whiskers away from probably being the goal of the tournament. What a strike.
Irrelevant of the result, the noise has not subsided even a little bit.
It's the Italians making all the noise still.
Absolutely.
Despite being 2-0 down. They're in party mode. Mohamed Galame fakes the full 180. Comes back to Galame. Filatra.
Yeah, it's nice football, but dealt with well on that occasion by Simone Ranzato. It's going to be a corner for the world champions.
Brian Weiss will take. Filatra goes back to defend. Lebele in the middle with Mohamed Galami. Galami just saunters out the box, makes a darting run towards the back post, marked by Mindru. Lost him now.
Weiss feints in the box, doesn't have the power to really trouble Simone Ranzato, who's going to try and break away. Has to be careful of his placement with his goalkeeper, who's patient in inviting that pressure. Neither one really knows who to engage. There's a bit of miscommunication, which gives Momo Galami the space to score! Once again, the lack of organisation in the Italian defence is exploited by Momo Galami. It's a brilliantly worked opportunity, but once again, you have to say, Italy should do better.
Italian defence is at 6 and 7s in this game. But this ball from Aurelian Filatra is perfection. Great 1-2, just wraps his chair all the way around it, directly to Momo Galami at the far post, and he just calmly puts it between Ranzato and Bortoluzzi. Italians are being undone here. The French are putting on a clinic.
Into Gabriel Mindru, completely unaware as to the ball's placement, engages it eventually, but once again Momo Galami picks up possession. That puts Momo Galami onto 6 goals and marks him as the tournament's top goal scorer, something that he won't have a great deal to worry about. Firstly, the objective will be European champions. If that comes with the additional medal of top goal scorer, he'll take it, but he's a team player who just happens to be one of the best in the world, as it comes off Gabriel Mindru. And we've got just 2 or so minutes remaining as Aurelian Filatra into Momo Galami, he's on for a hat-trick, into Lebele. Shot blocked by Simone Ranzato. Lebele's had little to no involvement. Gets a little taste of contact there from Simone Ranzato. Bernabe Capra needs to back off quicker there. It's a real struggling half as Bernabe Capra tries to engage, but ever alert, ever present Brian Weiss just does so brilliantly in relieving pressure on his defence. He's playing in a very unfamiliar role than what we've seen in the past. He normally knows that he has Erwan Konk as a player more defensive than him, as they're looking to exploit. Lebele into the 180, takes a crucial interception of Bortoluzzi, and Bernabe Capra needs to let that roll out of play.
Wow, this football from France is just exquisite. It really is. They are just carving through what is, for this entire tournament, has been a rock-steady Italian defence. Brian Weiss lines up with the kick-in. Lebele at the back post. Off of Mindru and out for a corner.
Yeah, he needed to make that connection. Otherwise, Lebele would have lined up. Lebele with responsibility. Brian Weiss just trying to get the other side of Gabriel Mindru. There's a lot of contact off that ball. It does brush that right-hand post, the left of Emiliano Bortoluzzi. Nothing that really put them in any danger. As we have observed the regulation 20, now into any additional time.
Poor touch there from Galami. I wanted to say that before you did, because it's not often you get to say that.
Simone Ranzato. Down the line, contact with Mindru, puts his hands up in apology, does well. He has been warned on multiple occasions. They don't want to give away needless fouls or yellow cards, because whilst a spot in the final looks incredibly unlikely, they will still contest a 3rd and 4th place playoff. more for bragging rights than anything else, but half-time in this semi-final, and France have stumped their authority with a 3-0 lead. The opener came from a clever set piece, Aurélien Filatre punishing a lapse in concentration in the Italian defence. He's been outstanding all competition. From there, France turned up the pressure. Momo Galame doubled the advantage with a driving run that Bortoluzzi couldn't stop, and then added a third before the break, once again exploiting the spaces left at the back. It's been fast, it's been fiery, it's been loud, everything you would expect. Join myself, Ryan Sipple, and Greg Baxter for the second half shortly. Hello everyone and welcome back to semi-final 1 of the 2025 EPFA Nations Cup, where France lead Italy 3-0 at the break. It's been a ruthless display from the world champions so far. Clinical from set pieces, incisive in open play, and unforgiving when Italy have left a gap. Momo Galami has already helped himself to 2 goals, Aurélien Filatre with the other, and together they have been pulling the strings in attack. For Italy, it's now about finding a response. They've been so disciplined and organised throughout the competition, but in that first half they never really settled. The question is whether they can rediscover that defensive resilience and create enough going forward to make this a contest. France looking complete control, but semi-finals are all about moments. If Italy can grab the next goal, maybe the atmosphere in this arena will lift them and suddenly the pressure may shift. But if France strike again though, they will be in tomorrow's final.
Yeah, it is a monumental mountain Italy have to climb in the second half. France just look imperious. They look like they're just in cruise control at the minute. That they have just another level they can take it to, as they're going to make a substitution. Tristan Leballé going off, and Morgan Lafont, well, he's seen his lead, his joint lead at the top of the goal scoring charts overtaken by his teammate Momo Galami.
Yep.
He'll want to get in on the act in this second half.
That he absolutely will. He's been brilliant if and when he's featured, and that's been very sporadic. David Verge has opted to pick that starting 4 in which he begun the game for the majority of the games, but he has experimented. He has got valuable minutes in the whole squad, something England can't say they've done, as Brian Weiss under some attacking pressure early on, but has no problem just breezing up the court and through the lines. He can't quite swipe it down to Aurélien Filatre. Gabriel Mindru, Brian Weiss combining with Filatre, falls very kindly in the centre for Momo Galami to engage, and it ricochets between a few chairs. Contact from Bernabé Capra, allowed to continue from the referee. This is where I spoke about it earlier, about it being so noisy. You cannot hear those little bits of contact, as Morgan Lafont has to be careful with his rotation. I think he was aware as to Simone Ranzato's placement. A fiery start in this second as Filatre, no one there to receive. That's a position you expect Momo Galami to be in.
Just so good dribbling through.
It's effortless.
It really is. Momo Galami, Morgan Lafont strike just past that post at the near side. One thing I wanted to highlight was, when have you ever seen, just such as the effect of Momo Galami, when have you ever seen a kickoff dummied 3 or 4 times because the middle player is reading you?
Yeah, he is truly incredible. Just the intentions of his actions. He never forces it, and if there is the option of a teammate, he will always opt to find them as opposed to going for goal himself. We saw there the goal looked almost certain to be shot at by the captain himself, but unselfishly into the path of Morgan Lafont, who made an uncharacteristic mistake, not mistake almost, but shot off target. You've mentioned that he is now trailing Galami in the goal scorer charts. Into the box, blocked well by Emiliano Bortoluzzi, far more assured in his clearance of the ball, something that was perhaps missing in the first 20.
Galami still with it, battling with Ranzato, who just sits off. Oh, gets absolutely.
It's just the shape of his chair, just to completely disguise his intentions. No one on the planet does it like him. It's not even something you can coach. It's just pure talent and ability. He is a master of his craft, and now has an opportunity to score through the box to Momo Galame, no goal! I don't think the 5 metres was observed. Either that or the France attack was too condensed. It's a let-off for Italy, who are going to be forced into a change. It looks as if Irene Infantino will come on. I suspect Gabriel Mindru will come off. Likewise with France, Erwan Konk, similarly to that of Morgan Lefont, chasing the top goal scorer award. He's on 5 as well. How will those substitutions manifest in the remainder of this semi-final? We shall soon see. Into the path of Erwan Konk to Momo Galame. They have such a fantastic chemistry at club level, Konk and Galame. But how does that translate when Konk is playing in that unfamiliar wide role? When you're in the real crunch games, it worked perfectly throughout the group. Bortoluzzi down to Irene Infantino. Nicely powered ball, but Konk just couldn't get the shape to capitalise. Out for an Italian ball.
What a pass that is from Momo Galame. Like a laser. Too much contact between Momo Galame, Irene Infantino. Ranzato will take Bernabe Capra, actually more appropriately into Momo Galame, as he now drives Bernabe Capra towards his box. Contact with the back of the chair. Yeah. Free kick.
Deemed too aggressive from Momo Galame. Behind the Italian goal is the entire England squad. Should they manage to bypass Belgium in semi-final 2 later today, it looks almost certain that it'll be another meeting between the two powerhouses of world power chair football. It can't be a good watch, that's for sure. Anyone that has the prospect of coming up against Momo Galame and co, how do you figure out a way round and past the world champions? I know England did it in 2019 on penalties, but they seem to just hit another level every time they combine on a court.
Galame will drive towards Bernabe Capra, so he has some space. That's heavy from Irene Infantino.
Yeah, didn't shy away from a little bit of contact there, or trapping the ball, as Steve Crump just tells her to calm down.
Does well to intercept that. Not really seen much of Giovanni Bernabe Capra in this game. I wonder just how much that game yesterday and the energy it took and the celebrations afterwards has taken out of the Italians. They've achieved their goal. This was a bonus.
We said at the start there was no expectation for Italy to come and get something from this semi-final. They have already made history, and now it's just about ending the tournament on the best possible high, if not here, in that potential 3rd and 4th playoff.
See, with the new rules, Erwan Konk could have just driven off the pitch then, could he not? I think if he does that, Momo Galame still has the ball in the space.
Simone Ranzato, very condensed, not many channels for him to operate in. It does find the front bumper of Bernabe Capra, but a lovely dummy from Momo Galame. You run out of superlatives for him, you truly do. As he's going to combine with Brian Weiss, and a very rare miss-hit.
Got any superlatives for that one, Ryan?
Everyone's allowed 1 or 2. Even Momo Galame, as Erwan Konk forces it towards Emiliano Bortoluzzi. And into the Italian box. 2-on-1 as Irene Infantino receives the yellow card. She had been warned as to her contact. And it was a little bit of off-the-ball contact with Momo Galame. So this is a direct free kick. Look at the shape of France. Look how high they are. I have never seen all 4 attacking players aligned with the box. Momo Galame drops off now. This is remarkable.
They were circling like sharks. Brian Weiss, it is direct. Fakes once, strikes a second time. Well saved by Bortoluzzi. Still alive here for Brian Weiss. Cut out by Bernabe Capra. Bortoluzzi learning from that first half, not just playing it back to Brian Weiss.
There's a real reluctance for him to come out the box, isn't there? As Italy ready a change, it's going to be Yusuf Ali coming on, probably for Infantino. It's been a real baptism of fire for her. On for a few minutes and been yellow carded.
2 yellow cards, as many minutes there for Italy. Bernabe Capra now getting one as Yusuf Ali comes on for Irene Infantino, and I think Gabriel Mindru will soon come on for Bernabe Capra. They will not want any players missing for that, what looks like a 3rd, 4th place playoff game tomorrow.
Yusuf Ali, his first involvement in this semi-final is coming up against Momo Galame, who has possession unselfishly. Back to Erwan Kong, combining beautifully in the Italian box, and it squeezes its way through, I think. The referees are unsure. It's definitely did from our angle, and the goal has been awarded. A lot of confusion, but Momo Galame, absolutely sensational. It was so close that it took a moment to calibrate.
Mohamed Galame, you simply cannot do that. He has found a ball's width gap between the chair of Ranzato and the post. That is absolutely sensational. He took a touch, had all the time in the world it seemed. He was not closed down. The Italians thought they had it covered. When you're facing Mohamed Galame, you never have it covered.
Surely we're going to observe that water break. Cannot believe it. I think that shocked everyone in the venue. That is the smallest gap I have ever seen a ball squeeze through in power chair football. But where there's a will, there's a way with him. And France are cruising their way to the 2025 EPFA Nations Cup final.
They really are. It's another statement from the French. No one has put the Italians to the sword like this. England certainly didn't. They'll be watching and realising if they get past Belgium, they're in for another incredible battle with what has become their traditional enemy. See, look, another look at this. Takes a touch. Time just seems to stand still. And Ranzato moves half an inch. But it was half an inch too much, and Mohamed Galame just slotted it in. Exquisite.
Exquisite is almost an understatement. Sometimes you just have to step back and applaud the effort and the sheer talent he has. He's a revelation for many, the best that's ever graced a power chair football court, and he shows why every single time he gets out there, whether it's with club, whether it's with country. He's coming off the back of winning the Club World Cup, the inaugural edition, and he's clearly taken the momentum from that into this. 32.5 minutes played. It's France 4, Italy 0. As he finds Morgan Le Font. Momo Galame now on 7 goals for the competition.
Tell you what, your top goal scorer prediction's looking very, very good, Ryan.
It's not much of a stretch though, is it, to say Momo Guillaume would be top goal scorer, most valuable player, champion, top provider. He seems to get every award and accolade possible, as there's another yellow card awarded this time for that man in question. He has to be careful now, and it wouldn't surprise me if he is brought off the court. They cannot risk it.
The yellow jersey is already going on Aurélien Filatre on that French bench.
Yeah, he played in that role in one of those group games and was incredible there. Such a versatile asset to David Verge. But Momo Guillaume surely coming off. You can see how hesitant he is almost to engage, because he knows if he is absent for that final, it changes the narrative completely.
Guillaume. Lefont down the line. Cut out by Mindru. The French have managed to do something that no one else has done, and that is partially quieten this Italian crowd.
Guillaume into Lefont, across to Erwan Kong, just wide of the right hand post. That's a really good opportunity, picking the passes around the Italian box, and Erwan Kong nearly had his sixth of the competition. Not bad for someone we deem a goalkeeper. I think they heard you, Greg, saying about partially silencing the crowd. If anything, it's got noisier.
The French are joining in with the drumming of the Italians now, because the French know they will be in that final at 4:30 Central European Standard Time tomorrow.
Guillaume back to Yusuf Ali, who just angles it towards Brian Weiss, who feints the pass to Lefont and then arcs his advancement all the way round the Italian number 11 into the side of Emiliano Bortoluzzi. Finds its way through the box. He can't really engage that Bortoluzzi, otherwise it would have been a sure 2-on-1. Into Lefont, over to Kong, unselfish, but in doing so he just condensed that little bit too much, and it's going to be 4 changes for France. That is unbelievable. If that doesn't tell you the quality they have amongst their ranks, I don't know what will. Italy are also going to alter. So Lefont, Guillaume, Kong and Weiss have come off. Jonathan Detrier, Youssef Ayadzadam, Tristan Lebelair and Aurélien Filatre have all come on. It's job done for them. They can now focus on the final tomorrow. It's now just ensuring these 4 players are as sharp as possible. As Filatre immediately intercepts. It looks as if Gabriele Zogia is preparing to come on, and that will probably be Gabriel Mindru's last involvement. We said there would be cards. I think that's the 4th of the game. But it's so fiery, it's so passionate. You can almost accept that as a byproduct.
When was the last time you saw a four-person squad changed in one go?
At this point, I've probably commentated thousands of games, upwards of 1,000. Never have I seen 4 changes, certainly in a competitive context.
The atmosphere rises once again. Lebelair battling with Bortoluzzi. Filatre. Youssef Ayadzadam across to Filatre. Saved on the line by Ranzato. Yusuf Ali. Ranzato takes a touch to try and calm it down. France and this fully changed squad are not done yet. Detrier and Ranzato. Le Belair. Ali back to Bortoluzzi. That's a good ball to Zoggia. Pick off by Youssef Zadam. Detrier. Le Belair! It's 5 for France. Tristan Le Belair gets in on the act. A thunderbolt from the French number 12. Fired into that bottom corner. The Italians powerless to stop the French from marching into yet another European Nations Cup final, Ryan.
Yeah, Tristan Le Belair with a beautiful strike. I have said across the competition he has had a tendency to force things sometimes, but his goal tally speaks for itself. Ranzato drives into Jonathan Detrier. But that one, on that occasion, cleanly hit, precise, clinical, and one of the goals of the competition. So cleanly struck. As for the first time this competition, we're going to see Gabriele Tocuti and Simone Ranzato down the court into Aurelien Filatra, into the path of that goal scorer Le Belair, who feints Simone Ranzato.
Filatra, blocked by Ranzato. Filatra, Youssef Zadam, 2-on-1. Simone Ranzato, the only player to play every minute of every game for Italy so far. He's been captain, fantastic. The Italians, I think, they can be happy knowing it's job done. They're going to Argentina. This was a bonus. This was a free hit for them to try and have a go. It just shows the level they want to get to. The romantic in me wanted to believe it was going to be tight, but I think in the end the form has come to fruition in the end.
Le Belair trying to find Youssef Zadam. Very condensed now, very disorganised. Probably to be expected when you rotate so heavily, and the game has gone. As Jonathan Detrier into Tristan Le Belair, attempts an effort over to Youssef Zadam. He's been steadily improving, Le Belair, and I suspect he will start tomorrow's final. Strong play. Brought back by Steve Crubb. We've now observed the 41 minutes, which factors in that midway water break. And there has been a lot of stoppages, but I suspect this will be one of the last actions of play. Youssef Zadam into Tristan Le Belair. This time Gabriele Tocuti does well to save, but he puts himself into some fantastic areas, does the French number 12. Over to Youssef Zadam, yet to really make his mark on the competition, and it's finished here in the first semi-final, and France have swept into tomorrow's final with a dominant 5-0 victory over Italy. Once again, the world champions showed exactly why they sit at the top of the game. Ruthless, clinical, and utterly relentless from start to finish. Aurelien Filatra got them going with the opener before Momo Galame took centre stage, scoring a superb hat-trick. His third goal will live long in the memory. An extraordinary strike through the tightest of gaps, one of the most remarkable finishes you'll see. And then right at the dare, Tristan Le Belair added the icing on the cake with an incredible strike of his own, capping off a near perfect performance from Les Bleus. Italy, the hosts, can hold their heads high. They've been one of the stories of the competition. Debutants at this level who have announced themselves on the European stage and secured their place at Argentina in 2026. For France, this result is another step in their extraordinary run of dominance, and it sends a clear message ahead of tomorrow's final. Whoever emerges from England and Belgium later tonight will know they're facing a team at the very peak of their powers.
France, absolutely imperious. They have laid down the marker. They will be extremely tough to beat. The Italians can be proud. They've done their country proud, but it was just one step too far for them.
We're going to hand over to Giovanni Barnabé Capra, who is over with Piero for interview. Next up, England versus Belgium.
And here we are again with Giovanni Barnabé Capra. Giovanni, another crazy game against a very strong team that proved themselves throughout, and also with a long history, I believe. I heard France is into the power chair sport since the 70s or something.
Yeah, I mean, well, France is a nation of power chair football. I mean, I'm pretty glad that I'm half Italian, half French. This time my heart was with Italy, and the thing is just that France is basically a country that plays for so long. So, I mean, I'm pretty glad to bring my experience to La Nazionale. But well, I think that game was really tough. We played with the weapons that we had. So, I mean, we played really tight on the men, not that much on the ball. And yeah, finally we lost 5-0, but I think we learned a lot from that match.
You guys put up absolutely great fight. First of all, I'm pretty sure everyone agrees with me saying that we are all very proud of how Team Italy went through. And again, I will tell you, congratulations for what you guys did and for the World Cup.
Yeah, thank you so much. I mean, yesterday night it was pretty crazy. I think even though we had a little party, we still had time to sleep as much as needed to make it to be fully charged for the game. And well, we go to Argentina. That's great, and we hope there that we will be able not to take as many cards as we took today, and to score a few goals against France.
All right. Okay, sounds great. You will have enough time to prepare and enjoy the process to get there. So congrats again. Take a good rest, and I'll see you, I guess, very soon.
Thank you. Andiamo in Argentina.
Andiamo. Grazie. Grazie. Thanks so much to Giovanni. I have two mics. Here we go. Et voilà, monsieur. Welcome. Can you come a little bit closer? Yes.
Like this?
Yes. And here we go. The crowd is still very noisy. First of all, congratulations.
Thanks.
Well, we are with Mr. Jonathan Detry. That's right?
Yeah.
Cool. So, another match, another time, France scored very well. You guys played very well. How do you think?
Thank you. Yeah, we are very happy of what we did on the court. It was a great match. I think Italy is one of the best teams of this tournament, so we are very happy of the result, and we hope we'll do the same tomorrow.
Absolutely. As I was saying to Giovanni, the French team is very experienced, so you guys showed all the efforts through these years. I believe more than 45 years in this game, and you definitely gave Italy the chance to have a little taste of what French team is capable of. You go to finals. How do you feel?
We are very happy. We know that the goal is to win the tournament, so we're gonna have to sleep well, and tomorrow will be another day and another match, which will be very hard, I think.
Yes,
but
that's
we are
why.
ready.
Yes, that's why. Don't celebrate too much tonight, because
no.
tomorrow is the day, and whoever is gonna go against you guys, I wish both the best of luck. I'm pretty sure France has a good chance. Let's see what happens tomorrow.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Merci beaucoup. Thanks so much. To Monsieur Jonathan Detry. Here we go.
Thank you.
And here's another one. So we are gonna wait for the second semi-final, and I will see you very soon.